Okay, my name is Lucia O'Neill, and in my 18 years, when I was 18 years of age, I moved to live and work in London as an au pair, minding two kids, and I did that for about 6 months, and then my employers then moved to Germany. I couldn't go with them because I didn't have a passport. Back in the day, there was no passport between England and Ireland, so I didn't have one. So I returned to Ireland, and I worked for McDonald's, making hamburgers and fries and apple pies and milkshakes. And I did that up until maybe 2 years later in Grafton Street, Dublin. I worked their heads. It was the first restaurant that opened in Ireland for McDonald's. And I loved working for McDonald's because I loved the way they treated their staff. They gave them proper food breaks, proper drink breaks, proper toilet breaks. And I stayed with them for as long as I could. Then I moved, after about 2 years working with them, I decided I'd go into the catering industry, whereby I become a waitress. So my sister and I, we went to work in a hotel called Wooden Bridge Hotel, County Wicklow. And that was like 16 miles from where my mother was from. And we worked there for one season. And then after that season was over, we moved to work in another hotel called the Royal George in Cork City. And after that, we worked in another one called the Limerick Inn Hotel for another season. And we had seasonal work for various hotels around Ireland. But after we'd done all that, we said we get fed up working as waitresses, so we quit for a holiday. So we quit for a holiday, and what our holiday was thumbing around Ireland. And we hitchhiked all around Ireland with the money we'd earned doing waitressing in various hotels. But then we got a bit kind of fed up again, and we said, we got itchy feet again. And I said, I want to go back to England. I want to work in England again. So I went back with my friend Julie. And Julie and I worked for this catering group. Then we moved back down to London, Julie and I. And Julie met her boyfriend there, and she got pregnant, and she went and lived her life. And I met my boyfriend, whom I met and married like after being with him for about a year. But he was based in Coningsby with the Royal Air Force. So I moved up to Coningsby to be with him. And we got married in Lincolnshire, a place called Boston. It's a small little town called Boston. Very beautiful, picturesque, romantic place. And we were there for 2 years, I'd say. His daddy wanted him to go into the family business, which was a jeweller's business. And so we moved back down to London, where we ran his father's jewellery business together. So every day I'd open up the business at 10 a.m, lift the shutters, take all the jewellery out of the safe, put them in the windows, and come 3 o'clock every afternoon, I had to go to school because I did cleaning from 5 till 6. I cleaned all the classrooms, hoovered, mopped the floors, cleaned the toilets. Basically, I was cleaner for the school. But I also did sometimes, if the dinner ladies didn't come up on time, they'd phone me and say, can you come in and do the dinner run because so-and-so hasn't turned up. So I was a dinner lady, a jeweller's assistant, and a cleaner. And I did this every day. 27 years later, I'm back here retired. And that's my life. And here I am. And now I want to do something to give back time to somebody, because I feel like I've had a very, shall we say, my life in England was very, although it was very hectic and strenuous, I've had a very privileged life. So now I want to give back to the community, whereby I offer my services up as, say, a dance teacher, or maybe even a mentor to talk with people. I should be putting my energies into something better. I should be down in Culnadara teaching them how to do, you put your right foot in and your right foot out, your right foot in, and you shake it all about. This is something I do when I'm making my bed every morning. And I'm thinking, I'm having so much fun making my bed, doing my stretches. Why don't I bring that into my little community? I would love to be down here in Culnadara every day, waiting for people to come in. I am prepared to come down here every morning and do 9 to 10 in the morning of easy move dance, gentle dance. We'll call it gentle aerobic dance, 9 to 10 in the morning. If that doesn't suit people, we'll do it from 10 till 11. So Barry's, a place in Bray called Barry's Ballroom Dancing is where my mother and father used to go dancing when they were courting, before they were married. And my mother, I remember this vividly, my mother wore a ballroom dancing gown, which was gold in colour, shiny gold, right down to her ankles. It was off the shoulder, and she had the nicest stilettos, but they weren't pointy stilettos, they were dancing stilettos. And my father was dressed in a white shirt with a beautiful black tie, with a black suit, and he used to bring her ballroom dancing to Barry's in Bray, ballroom dancing. And I'm sure that when they went in dancing, they turned heads. And that I see. And I say I'd love to let somebody else have that lovely feeling of doing the Viennese waltz. Oh, can you just imagine two people? They don't have to be man and woman, it can be two women, the Viennese waltz, up and down, round and round, and getting that euphoria feeling of just connecting with music and being happy to be able to dance. It's such a wonderful thing. You only have to watch it on TV to see. It's, you know. So Bea and me, we used to dance a lot when we were teenagers. So every weekend we go to these places and dance, but it wasn't line dancing, it wasn't ballroom dancing, it was disco dancing. So what I'm going to say to you is this: if the line dancing doesn't take off, we'll introduce disco dancing. Who doesn't like to boogie down? You know, you play a few James Brown sounds and everybody wants to boogie down. We got to do something. I think that's what life's all about, that you're sharing your life and you're giving to your community. I don't think it's all about you getting as much as you want and you having as much as you want. I think it's about putting yourself out there so people can embrace what you know and learn from you. And if it isn't, then we're not living the good life. If you ever come to my apartment, you'll see why I love line dancing. There's a carpet that wide. There's a line in the middle of the floor where the carpet ends. That's where I do my line dancing. I do it every evening. I actually do the line dancing in my living room. The chairs are lined up that side of the room. The sofa's that side of the room. So in case I get knackered, I just go, I've had enough. I can't do it anymore. But basically, my life is dance. Dance is not just a word, it's a life-changing choice. And that's why I love dance. I think if you stay indoors too long, you become a hermit. And you need basically to get yourself out there. And sometimes, you really have to push yourself out there. Because if you don't push yourself out there, you will become a hermit. And that's bad for your brain. Seriously, we as a community, we need to get people out of their chairs. Even if they just move around for 10 minutes, at least they've got up out of their chair and done something. We need to change. Michael Jackson said, make a change. We gotta change.